Oh my gosh, 2023. What are you doing to my bank account? You are destroying me. Hi, my name is James. This is James Loves Games. And today was the Nintendo Direct of Nintendo Directs. What the heck are these folks doing over there, sitting around just trying to make me poor? I don't know why they decided to do all this stuff this year. It was hit after hit after hit. And I can't explain why. My mind is blown. Okay. I was watching the Direct. I wanted to stream it this morning, but I had stuff I had to do at work. And so there I was. And I thought to myself, well, you know, the past like 5 or 6 Nintendo Directs really haven't been that great. I've been kind of getting myself all hyped up for cool stuff, only to be disappointed. And, you know, what's the point in streaming all of this just indie games and mediocrity? Well, I don't know. Probably the biggest gaming news that I've seen in recent memory. Seriously, what the heck? Super Mario RPG. I can't even, okay? Super Mario RPG is one of my favorite games of all time. And honestly, it's always on my mind. I've got my original copy in the next room, my Super Famicom copy, and I love that game. It's my wife's favorite game. It's one of my best friends, his favorite game. It sums up my sort of preteen gaming life. It was the very first RPG I ever played, and so it means a great deal to me. And when they started playing this, I'm just going to go ahead and play it. When they started playing this, all I had to hear was one note, and it was just goosebumps all up and down my arm. I'm sitting in my office watching this like, whoa, huh, and I have nobody around to exclaim to. And it's gorgeous. Like, it's exactly what I had wished a remake of Super Mario RPG would be. Even the stubby little Mario. Like, down to the stubby little Mario. It's just perfect. And the fact that they got Yoko Shimomura to come back and rearrange her original score for the remake. And the cutscenes, it's gorgeous. Look at this. It's got all of your favorites. Mallow, Gino, the Donkey Kong looking bad guys. I mean, it looks fantastic. And yet still so true to the original. And I've had this song specifically stuck in my head all day. I've just been humming it. I'm sure the people I work with were wondering, what the heck are you humming all day? I'm curious to know what this percentage gauge is in the corner, because I don't believe that was in the original. But this looks like a very faithful recreation of the original, with a little few extras added on, like these cutscenes. And they're probably going to upgrade the battle portions a little bit, but my goodness, this is a classic. And it's 28 years old this year. And if you've not played Super Mario RPG, you are in for an absolute treat. This is one of the best JRPGs ever, of all time. And honestly, with Final Fantasy 16 coming out, well, here in a few hours, as of me recording this, this is going to be a breath of fresh air, because it's just pure lightheartedness. And it's so fantastic in November. And I don't know why Nintendo decided to stack this lineup so deep with just banger after banger after banger. Almost all these games are coming out in October and November. And I just don't understand what they're thinking. Like, I can't afford to buy like 30 games this year. I've already bought so many games this year. I've got, like I said, Final Fantasy 16 is imminent. I'm going to be playing it in a few hours, okay? And we've also got Lies of P coming out later. We've got Lords of the Fallen coming out later. We've got, I mean, I don't have all the new games written down on my board, but you'll see. You'll see some more as we continue along this path that we're taking. So Super Mario RPG, obviously, November 17th. This is a must-buy. this is absolute. This is a gaming dream come true. And there were rumors floating around that there was going to be a Super Mario RPG remake. And some people were saying Chrono Trigger remake. And I had this conversation with my wife. And I said, Chrono Trigger doesn't need a remake because it is perfect. Like, honestly, I think if they remade it, it would just sully the name of the game because it is gaming perfection. I wouldn't change a pixel. But Super Mario RPG, while it was, I mean, close to perfect, this like visual upgrade is nice. But I think the best thing for me is you can't play this unless you have a Super Nintendo with the original cartridge, or you kind of circumvent the law and, emulate, which I don't recommend. I can't recommend that you break the law, but that is one way that people do play the game. But the only official legal way to play the game is with the Super Nintendo. And that's a bummer because the battery in my cartridge apparently kicked the bucket a couple months back and corrupted all my save data. So you can't even play the game anymore. I'm going to have to like crack it open and swap out the battery that saves your game files in there because I'm pretty sure it's dead. And so this allows people today to be able to play it on a Nintendo Switch, which to me, like, if you just got Super Mario RPG in its original form and put it on a Nintendo Switch, that would be great. But the fact that it's upgraded visuals, new music, it looks fantastic. I'm so happy about this. This is number one. I had to get it out of the way. As soon as I saw it, it was just goosebumps up and down my arms for 2 minutes and 9 seconds. It's incredible. Okay, so let's go to the next thing. Now, I've made a little playlist here, and I'm going to go through them in the order that they excited me. Okay, so this obviously was number one. So moving on to the next one, I think you probably saw it there. Vampire Survivors, honestly, this was highly recommended to me by many people in many subscribers of my channel, and people in the Discord recommended this to me. I got it for $5 over the holidays this past year, and I probably played it for about 5 or 6 hours, and I realized I had to cut myself off. It's that addictive. It's honestly the most addictive game I've ever played, and I recognized it early on. I thought, because there were a couple nights where I stayed up till 2, 3 in the morning and had to get up and go to work the next day. I had to get up 6:30, take my kids to school, and then go to work later and just be miserable all day. And I realized that this is no way to live, and this game will consume me if I let it. And I had to step away. And my wife played it a lot more than I did, but I saw the signs in myself, and I had to stop. But I was thinking, I kid you not, I was thinking not a week ago, I really wish Vampire Survivors would come out on the Switch. I would like it on the PS5 because that would be good. I prefer playing games like this on a console anyway, but to get it on the Switch and be mobile with it would be fantastic. Let's get real. I want to play it on the toilet. This is why we all have Nintendo Switches, play video games on the toilet. That's the dream. That is the dream that Nintendo has realized. And I want to play Vampire Survivors on the toilet. And now I can. I can. By getting treasure chests from I love it. I don't care. I'm going to slip. I'm going to relapse back into this horrid addiction. And I cannot wait. This is what got me super excited. Okay. And I was thinking when I was playing it, like, wouldn't it be great if we could play this together, talking with my wife. Yeah, when we were in the midst of our spiral down into, rehab clinics. Like, wouldn't it be great if we could play this together? 4 players. Are you kidding me? And the whole game is you're just moving the stick. Your kids could play it easily. I've got Joy-Cons coming out my ears. Most of them don't work so well, but you can at least move the stick and get around more or less. But like 4-player local co-op, Nintendo is crushing the local co-op recently. Like, this is huge. But they had the new Sonic game coming out. That's got 4-player local co-op. The new Super Mario Brothers Wonder, which I'm going to show you here in a minute, has local co-op. It's like they're crushing it. Nintendo is crushing the local co-op game, and I'm here for it. I love it. I'm always complaining that I don't have enough local co-op games to play with my wife and kids. And Nintendo, you've got your microphones that you have in my house are working because you're hearing everything I want and you're delivering it. It's really incredible. And I'm so excited to lose myself in this game.
When Vampire Survivors launches
It's like
on the Nintendo Switch system.
It's like you're a heroin addict and then you kick it and then they're like, here's heroin 2. Now with a minty fresh flavor. And it's like, wow, sure, sign me up. Give me some of that. But not to make light of drug abuse and addiction, but it is a very, very fun game that is hard to put down once you stop. Because you say, just one more run, just one more run. But the runs are nearly 30 minutes, over 30 if you're good. But it'll eat up your free time, and then it'll eat up your sleep time. And then before you know it, your family has packed their bags and left, and you are alone with a really good game. And that's Vampire Survivors in a nutshell. Number 3 on my list. This one was a shocker. Nobody saw this coming. I think this is such a cool addition. Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Let's jump into it. And honestly, I knew right away this is a Mario game when I saw that bell.
Onward and upward.
But like, I love the art style of this game. Like, it has this quality. It almost has this like Miles Morales in the Spider-Verse kind of like animation quality where the like frame rate has been really lowered. And it gives it this kind of like, I don't know, like collage. I don't even know how to describe it. Like construction paper look. It's almost got like a kind of a Paper Mario look to it. But specifically Mario. But like, it looks so cool. It's gorgeous. And I'm so glad that they're returning to just a traditional 2D Mario experience. And I'll pause right here before it gets super weird. The devs are listening, and I'm probably going to make a video later talking about remakes and how it's just like, it's such a golden age for remakes because you've got all the gamers that are my age who are in their late 30s and coming into their 40s who played all these games as kids. We played the 2D Marios, we played the 2D Sonics, we played all these RPGs back when we were kids, and now they're realizing, oh, these are the things that these older gamers who have disposable income, the older folks who have more money want to spend it on games that are similar to what they played when they were kids. Nostalgia is a powerful thing. It sells. And so they're finally tapping into that with this kind of 2D Mario game. I didn't really like the new Super Mario Brothers stuff. It was okay, but it just didn't quite have, it was missing some kind of quality that I was looking for. And this seems to capture that. I don't know what it is about it, if it's the look or, the contents of the game or whatever, but I'm very intrigued. This honestly reminds me of when Super Mario Brothers 3 came out, and it introduced these new elements, like the world map, and it introduced, you had the Tanuki leaf and all this weird stuff. They're just going with it. And I love all this new weirdness that they're adding. It looks like it's going to be super fun. And I love the UI that they've created. The menus and everything look gorgeous. The map. It's going to go to the map here in a second. The logo looks pretty fresh as well. But like, this map is so just mwah. What is this? Like, I'm a sucker for in-game maps, but this thing is off the chain. Look at it. And it's got these little windows for the level you're about to go in. Obviously, there's some little dotted lines going around something. You're going to have to pick up some collectibles, kind of like Yoshi's Island, where you have to, get like a perfect score or something, or get all the red coins and things like that. I'm hoping. I don't know what this stuff is in the top left. We've got some weird kind of vegetable or fruit. We've got regular coins, and we got those purple coins. And obviously, another great thing about this is you get to play as Luigi and Peach and Toad and Daisy, of all people. Daisy finally gets her gaming debut in a Mario game. And this is it right here, the 4-player co-op. It's awesome. Like, please. This is so cool. This is my 10-year-old self is rejoicing in this Nintendo Direct because it's appealing to everything from my childhood. And I'm so excited for this one. It just looks like a funky, fun game. and just like the art direction really is going in the right direction as far as I'm concerned. It's really checking all the boxes for me. So very excited for this one as well. I think the family is also going to have a lot of fun playing it. But it looks so good. And then, of course, the reveal. October also. Yeah. Also the reveal at the end of the new transformation. You got to have a new transformation for Mario, right? The elephant. Zowie! I don't know what he's going to do, honestly.
Well then.
Like, surely you can do more than just, like, smack Goombas with your trunk. So there's going to be something special here, and I'm excited. Like, there's always a little pushback when Mario introduces something new. You know, he had Cappy, where he throws the cap and can take over people in Mario Odyssey. And there's kind of a little bit of like, that's kind of weird. I remember being a kid when they introduced Super Mario Brothers 3, and you could get the leaf and turn to the Tanuki, like, that's kind of weird. And then the cape in Super Mario World, that's kind of weird. But like, as soon as you play it, it's like, this is so fun. Like, where has this been the whole time? So I don't know if an elephant is what the series has been missing, but it does look certainly very interesting. I don't think, you know, Nintendo's kind of been on a roll. So I trust that this is going to be good. So very excited for that one as well. This one, Star Ocean Second Story.
Two worlds, one fateful encounter.
Honestly, like Star Ocean, full disclosure, I've never played a Star Ocean game, but it's one of those series that's always been sort of in my orbit, right? Like as a lifelong Final Fantasy player, you know, I've played JRPGs pretty much my whole life, starting with Super Mario RPG. And so I was always kind of aware of Star Ocean, but it seems like there was always, it just didn't hook me. But like, I saw this trailer and I really want to play this game.
A remake of the second Star
I've always
Ocean
been kind
game,
of mildly
complete with new
interested in
graphics
Star
that fuse
Ocean,
2D and 3D is on
but
the
not
way.
enough to jump in.
After a mission
But
goes
I'm
wrong,
such a huge fan of this 2D, 3D art style, you know, starting with Octopath Traveler and, you know, Project Triangle Strategy, and obviously with Star Ocean Second Story R. Like, I just love the look of it. It's so cool. And I actually saw on Twitter the other day, some fan has put together sort of a mock-up of a 2D, 3D, or 2D HD, whatever they call it, of Chrono Trigger in Lean Square during the Millennial Fair. And it looked really cool. And I would honestly be on board if they did a remake with that kind of visual style, because it kind of sparkles a certain way, and I just like it. But the character designs that they have for the artwork in the game, they look so
Claude
good.
is stranded on an undeveloped
And they're
planet.
animated and everything.
There, he meets Reyna, who possesses mystical powers.
Like, it's gorgeous.
Was it fate or mere
Honestly, I love
coincidence?
these character
Soon
designs.
after,
That's
the
really
two
kind of
get
what hooked me.
entangled in a sinister plot within the galaxy. In this science fantasy
Also, the
RPG,
double narratives,
select either
you can
Claude or
check out the
Reyna as
story
your
from two
hero
different
and play
perspectives
through
from the
story
beginning of the
from
game,
their perspective.
which is also really cool.
You'll also meet over
Multiple
a dozen
difficulties.
potential allies from all walks of life.
But it's just a gorgeous looking
During your
game.
adventure, the hero
And
you chose and the
Are
decision
we not just like flooded with amazing RPGs right now? Like, this is just like the
Did you
cherry
make
on
will
top
have
for
an
me.
impact
It's
on who
been
can be recruited to your
JRPGs left
cause.
and right, and I don't have enough time to
Battles
play
take
them all,
place in
honestly.
real time,
This is my
and
biggest
skills
problem.
can be performed
I could
with a
afford to buy
single
all these games. I just don't know when I would be able to just sit and play them. I have to be streaming
combat
like
features
16
in this
hours a
remake
day
include stunning enemies
to
with
play
chain
all these
attacks.
great games. I honestly don't know what I'm going to
And
do.
having allies not in your current party unleash
But
follow-up
I like the
attacks,
updated battle
letting
system.
you map out strategic battles
You know, it's
in
sort
your
of,
favor.
it's a little bit more action
As you
oriented,
search for
a little
way
more
home,
fast paced.
An ancient prophecy will unfold,
And I think playing through a
and
lot
your
of
destiny will
older
be awakened.
JRPGs can
Save
feel a
the
bit like a
planet in
slog.
Star Ocean,
Once you've
the
played
second
kind of
story
more
arc.
modern RPGs with updated combat systems, and you go back and play like a really old one, as much as you liked it at the time, like I have a hard time going back and playing like the first 5 Final Fantasies, just because that whole system, or like the first couple of Dragon Quest games, it feels very dated. And, you know, I like when they update little things here and there, because, you know, if you want to play the original, you can play the original and say it's better or whatever. But like, it's cool that they kind of tweak things a little bit for more modern sensibilities. It's sort of, yeah. I think I'm just saying the same thing over and over again, but I'm very excited for Star Ocean, the second story R. I'll probably wait until I see some reviews before I get it. I'm going to be neck deep in games at this point anyway. I'm always neck deep in games, but I'm just going to be, I'm going to be underwater. And so Star Ocean is going to be the thing that drowns me. So I'll wait for some reviews before I jump on this one right away. But I'm very intrigued. It does look very good. And it's cool that they're remaking a lot of these older games, like I said, because a lot of times you can only play them on the original hardware, and that original hardware is crumbling rapidly. So, especially if they're on discs. But, you know, it's very cool to have those available on new systems.
Launching on Nintendo Switch
so,
November
what did
2nd.
I have next? Oh, yes. So, Pikmin 4, obviously, is another one. I'm not personally a huge Pikmin fan. The game is fun, and I like the gimmicks or whatever you want to say about them. It's this one looks obviously the best yet, but my kids are just like foaming at the mouth for this game. Like Pikmin 4, if you say the word Pikmin, my youngest will just lose her mind and she's like, I gotta play it. And so it was nice to have an update of it. And I'm very excited about the demo. It's coming out next week, so hopefully it's gonna go over well. And they're probably gonna play it. We got the demo for Pikmin 3 Deluxe a couple years ago. I don't remember when it was, and they just played the demo like dozens of times. They played through it so much, and then finally I was like, do you guys want the real game? And they just lost their minds. So Pikmin 4, a very hotly anticipated game in my household. Not by me personally, but I'm excited to see them get excited, if that makes sense. If you're a parent, then you know what I'm talking about. So, but I like all the new additions that they've made to it. It looks very intriguing. I like the kind of battle mode that they have. That looks kind of cool. This thing.
Embrace the art of Dandori.
The Dandori battles, yeah. Looks very interesting. I'm hoping it's going to be like you can do player versus player. That might lead to some distress in the household, but I still think it would be really fun. So, yeah. Pikmin 4. Looks like it's going to be really good. Also, at this point, like, I've said all the things I'm super duper hyped about, and like Nintendo already knocked it so far out of the park with just the first three. Between Super Mario RPG Remake, Vampire Survivors, and Super Mario Brothers Wonder, I was like, this is the best Direct I've seen in months, if not years. And then they just keep sprinkling other little goodies throughout the whole thing. So like Pikmin 4 demos next week, that's cool. I think it's neat. We're getting a booster course for
Wave 5.
Mario, and I already bought the booster course pass a while back. I've really been enjoying the new levels that they keep dropping. I think it's a cool system. I especially like the levels that are based on real cities. So like the Bangkok one and the Tokyo one are two of my favorites. But it's really cool. This level looks really interesting too. But adding new characters is also really cool. So looking forward to that one, mostly because I've already paid for it. And it's always fun to jump back into Mario Kart, you know? So that'll be cool. And then this one was a pleasant surprise. WarioWare Move It.
It's time to move it.
I was obsessed with WarioWare on the Game Boy Advance.
Get ready for
I had a Game Boy Advance SP that I took with me everywhere in high school. And WarioWare was the perfect game because I could carry that thing around. The battery on that system was awesome, by the way, but like I could play WarioWare. I could play a couple of seconds of it. I could just hop into some micro games and play it for like 2 minutes and be satisfied. And you just kind of hop in and out. This looks crazy, but really interesting.
If you've got 2 pairs of controllers, play with a friend in local co-op.
And I just love how silly and off the wall these WarioWare games are. So this is another one that I think my family's going to really enjoy. I probably won't play it as excessively as I did on the original, but this definitely looks really silly. And I'm excited for it. This game always makes me laugh. So I'll definitely be boogers. This is another surprise that I think actually looks pretty good. I like rhythm games, and if it's sort of like a Battle Royale Fall Guys type rhythm game, like it's a really kind of fresh concept, but it's dressed up in such a funny way with pigeons. They look like these pigeons all look like Mr. Popo from Dragon Ball Z, which is kind of weird. They don't have beaks so much as they have big, like, earthworm lips. But, you know, I'm pretty confident in myself as far as, like, rhythm game skills. So I'd kind of like to test it out in an online environment. So I'm kind of intrigued. I don't typically think of myself as competitive online, but, like, I think with rhythm games I could do pretty well. We'll see. But obviously my kids were cracking up when I showed them this, so this is probably going to be a must-buy as well. And just like the sheer number of mini games that they have on this is crazy. But it looks pretty funny. And again, just like Fall Guys, you can dress them up with different costumes. So. New Princess Peach game. Teaser, I suppose. Mario was just winning today. Mario was the star of the show for sure. Like, for real. But I think it's really cool. Peach getting her own game for the very first time.
Princess Peach
I think it's about time, you know?
Character in a brand new game.
Even Toad got a game before Peach, which just seems crazy to me.
On stage.
But I kind of feel like they probably shouldn't have shown anything if this is all they're going to show. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, there's a Peach game, and what happens when she does this? We'll tell you later. Like, you showed me 20 seconds of a game and told me nothing about it except who's in it. But again, it's like they gotta build hype, which I understand. But it's cool. They've got a Peach game on the way. Also,
it's a supersonic squad of superstars.
Sonic Superstars looks pretty cool. I don't think my family was as jazzed about this as I was.
Brand new 2D side-scrolling game.
It's a bit fast-paced for all of them, I think.
12 brand
but
new zones away. Speed through
I love,
worlds
again,
as Sonic.
they're appealing to the gamers my age, the late 30s, early 40s gamers who played these originals back in the day. And they've been floundering with this 3D Sonic nonsense for decades. And it's time to come back to the roots, the 2D side-scrolling Sonic. That's what makes Sonic great. That's what got Sonic on the map. So let's go back to that. And it looks fantastic. It looks really fun.
So much more.
Again, I'll probably wait till I see some reviews before I get this one. But again, 4-player co-op.
Local co-op is available.
That's like
for up to
4
4
games
players.
this video that have local co-op that all look really fun. It's crazy. Nintendo is crushing local co-op. So whoever is in charge of that, like, you deserve a raise, says I. Says I. And I think that was the last thing that I had. So, whoops. Yes, I still love games. The video is not over. So, yes, obviously, like, there's so much to unpack here. And this all looks so great. I genuinely, I don't even know what to say. Just a lot of really, really good looking games on the horizon from Nintendo. And they crushed it. Today's Direct was fantastic. And I wish I would have been able to stream it to get all those reactions live. But I mean, my mouth was just open staring at the screen through most of the Direct because of all the awesome stuff they had. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? I've been sitting here babbling on for like 28 minutes now. So those are all my thoughts on today's Nintendo Direct and all the great games that are coming out in the next couple months. This isn't like coming out 2024 or 2025. This is this year. All those games are coming out this year. That is insane. Obviously the Peach one isn't, but like all the other ones, 2023, like October, November, maybe December. That's nuts to me that Nintendo can keep this stuff under wraps for so long. But it's also nuts that they think we're going to magically come up with all the time and money to play all these games. But you know what? It's a good time to be alive. 2023, let me tell you guys, 2023 is one of the best years of gaming ever. I'll say it. Like, seriously, I see it now. Do you guys remember when Hogwarts Legacy came out in like January and everybody was so hyped for it? And it's like every big release this year has just been hype, hype, hype. And I get it. Like, seriously, we've had so many good games this year and so much more yet to come. So I don't even know. What do you guys think? What was your favorite game from today's Nintendo Direct? What are you most excited about? What were you wishing showed up at the Direct? Obviously, I didn't even mention the Metal Gear Solid collection, which also looks really cool. I will probably buy... I know you could get the Metal Gear Solid collection with like everything included, but they also said you could buy each one individually. Honestly, for Metal Gear Solid, I really only really liked Metal Gear Solid, the first one. So I'll probably buy that one just to have it on a modern console so I don't have to drag my PS1 out of storage and dust it off and pray to the gods that the disc actually works. So it'd be nice to have it on a modern system. So that's really cool. But, you know, there's tons of stuff. What were you most disappointed was not at the showcase? I saw in the chat, everybody was hyped up about like Tomodachi Life, like a new Tomodachi Life. I don't really get that, but you know, what are you into? What are you missing out on? What was a bummer? What were you so excited about? Let me know in the comments. As usual, thank you all so much for tuning in to watch this. If you sat through all 30 minutes of me jabbering on about these games, thank you. I appreciate it. I love you guys very much. I'm so excited for the future of games. I'm going to play Final Fantasy 16 in a couple hours, and I'm so pumped, y'all. In a couple hours, I'm playing Final Fantasy 16. I got Final Fantasy 16 on the brain, and Nintendo's like, Final Fantasy Schmancy. Here's all of these great games you should be thinking about instead. And gosh darn if I'm not. Gosh darn if I'm not. Anyway, thank you all once again for tuning in, and I'll see you all next time right here on... That's it. Bye.